The Star Watcher's crazy idea. Samira Khan loved the stars. Every night, she would sit on her roof, looking up at the sky with her old telescope. She was only 25, but she already knew more about space than most grown-ups. One day, Samira went to her university to share a big idea. She walked into the room where all the smart space scientists worked. Her hand shook a little as she held her papers. "I think there's a space government out there," Samira said, pointing at her charts. "Look at these star patterns. They're too perfect to be random." The room went quiet. Then someone laughed. Soon, everyone was laughing. "Oh, Samira," said Dr. Brown, shaking his head. "That's a good joke. Space government. What's next? Alien tea parties." Samira's face turned red. She thought they would listen, but they just made fun of her. She left the room, feeling sad and angry. At home, Samira didn't give up. She kept looking at the stars every night. "I know I'm right," she whispered to herself. "I just need to prove it." Weeks passed. People at the university started calling Samira Silly Samira behind her back. Some were nice to her face but rolled their eyes when she talked about her ideas. One rainy Saturday, Samira visited her grandpa. He was sick in bed, but his eyes lit up when he saw her. "Samira, my star girl," he said with a smile. "Still chasing aliens?" Samira smiled back, but she felt a little hurt. Even her grandpa thought she was silly. "I'm not giving up, Grandpa," she said. "I know there's something out there." Grandpa nodded. "You know, I have something for you. In the attic, there's an old box with my name on it. Why don't you take a look?" Curious, Samira went up to the dusty attic. She found the box hidden behind some old furniture. Inside, under some papers, she found something strange. It was a machine, about the size of a toaster. It had knobs, dials, and a small screen. It looked old, but also not from Earth. Samira's heart beat fast as she brought it downstairs. "Grandpa, what is this?" she asked, showing him the machine. Grandpa's eyes went wide. "Oh my, I forgot about that old thing. Found it when I was your age, on a camping trip. Could never figure out how it worked." "Maybe you can, Star Girl." Samira couldn't believe it. Was this proof? She hugged her grandpa and rushed home with the machine. For days, Samira didn't leave her room. She studied every part of the strange device. She tried different buttons, turned knobs, and wrote down everything that happened. After a week, she had a breakthrough. When she turned two knobs together and pressed a big red button, the machine lit up. Strange symbols appeared on the screen. Samira gasped. The symbols looked like the star patterns she had been studying. Excited, she worked even harder. She started matching the symbols to star maps. Slowly, a pattern emerged. It wasn't just random lights. It was a message. But what did it mean? Samira spent hours trying to decode it. She used her computer to help, running the symbols through different programs. Finally, late one night, words appeared on her computer screen. "Greetings from the Galactic Council." Samira fell off her chair. She was right. There really was a space government. With shaking hands, she tried to send a message back through the machine. She used the star patterns to write, "AELO from Earth." For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, the machine beeped. New symbols appeared. When Samira decoded them, she almost shouted with joy. "Communication stabilization. Stay and dy. Or FURTER2ONT." Samira couldn't sleep that night. She had done it. She had talked to aliens. But would anyone believe her? The next day, Samira went back to the university. She carried the machine and all her notes. This time, she went straight to the head of the Space Science Department, Dr. Lee. "Dr. Lee, please, you have to see this," Samira said, putting the machine on his desk. Dr. Lee looked annoyed. "Samira, we've talked about this. Your ideas are just too..." But before he could finish, the machine beeped loudly. Symbols flashed on its screen. Dr. Lee's mouth fell open. What in the world? Samira quickly explained everything, finding the machine, decoding the symbols and the messages. As she talked, more scientists came into the room, drawn by the strange beeping. Dr. Lee looked at Samira's notes, his face getting more and more surprised. "This is incredible," he said softly. "Samira, I think you've made the biggest discovery in human history." Just then, the machine beeped again. Everyone watched as Samira decoded the message. Her eyes went wide as she read it out loud. "Prepare for first contact. Arrival in 24 hours." The room exploded with excitement. Scientists started shouting and hugging each other. Dr. Lee picked up his phone, his hand shaking. "Get me the president," he said. "We need to prepare for visitors." In just one day, Samira went from being silly Samira to the most important scientist on Earth. As the world got ready for the aliens to arrive, she sat in her backyard, looking up at the stars. "I knew you were out there," she said with a smile. "And now, everyone else knows too." The next 24 hours would change everything. But right now, Samira was just happy to watch the stars, knowing that soon she'd be meeting the ones who lived among them. Blinking lights in the sky, the world was not ready for aliens. But the aliens were coming anyway. Samira Khan sat in a big room full of important people. Presidents, scientists, and army leaders all looked at her. They wanted answers. "Miss Khan," said the President of the United States, "you're sure they're coming today?" Samira nodded. She held the strange machine from her grandpa tightly. "Yes, sir." The message said 24 hours. That time is almost up. Everyone in the room looked nervous. Some thought Samira might be wrong. Others were scared she might be right. Dr. Lee, Samira's boss, stood up. "We've checked everything. The machine is real. The messages are real. We must be ready." Just then, Samira's machine beeped. Everyone jumped. Samira looked at the screen and gasped. "They're here," she said. "They're entering our solar system." The room burst into action. People started shouting orders. Phones rang. Samira felt lost in the chaos. A kind-looking woman sat next to Samira. "I'm Dr. Chen," she said. "I'm here to help you. Can you show me how the machine works?" Samira nodded. She was glad to have someone to talk to. As they looked at the machine, more messages came in. "They're passing Jupiter," Samira said, reading the symbols. "They'll be here in a few hours." Dr. Chen looked amazed. "Can we send a message back?" she asked. Samira thought for a moment. "I think so. What should we say?" Dr. Chen smiled. "How about welcome to Earth?" Samira liked that idea. She used the machine to send the message. For a minute, nothing happened. Then the machine lit up with a reply. "Thank you," Samira read out loud. "Please watch the sky." Everyone in the room ran to the windows. At first, they saw nothing. Then, slowly, lights began to appear in the dark sky. The lights were far away, like stars. But they were moving. They blinked in patterns, red and blue and green. "It's beautiful," Samira whispered. More and more lights appeared. Soon, the whole sky was full of blinking colors. It looked like a giant light show. People around the world saw the lights. In New York, crowds filled the streets, looking up. In Tokyo, trains stopped so everyone could watch. Even in small villages, people came out of their homes to see. Samira's machine beeped again. The message made her smile. "They say this is how they say hello," she told everyone. For an hour, the light show continued. The colors danced and swirled. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Then, slowly, the lights started to come together. They formed a big circle in the sky. The circle got brighter and brighter. Samira's machine went crazy, beeping and flashing. She read the messages as fast as she could. "They're coming down," she said. "They want to land." The president looked worried. "Where?" he asked. Samira checked the machine. They're asking us to choose a place. Everyone started talking at once. Some wanted the aliens to land in the middle of nowhere. Others thought a big city would be better. Samira had an idea. What about my university? She said. It's where we first contacted them, and it has a big open field. The president thought for a moment, then nodded. It's a good idea. Not too crowded, but not too far away. Dr. Lee, can you arrange it? Dr. Lee nodded and started making calls. Samira sent the location to the aliens through her machine. They've agreed, she said, reading the reply. They'll be here in 1 hour. The next hour was the longest of Samira's life. She watched as army trucks and news vans filled the university field. A big circle was marked on the ground where the alien ship would land. Samira stood with the president and other leaders. She held her machine, ready to translate. As the hour ended, the sky lit up again. The big circle of lights appeared above the field. It got lower and lower. Then, with a soft hum, a huge silver ship appeared. It was round and smooth, like a giant metal disc. It landed gently in the circle on the ground. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then, with a hiss, a door opened in the side of the ship. Samira held her breath. This was it. The moment everything would change. A tall figure stepped out of the ship. It looked almost human, but not quite. Its skin was pale blue, and its eyes were large and dark. It wore a shimmering suit that seemed to change colors. The alien looked around, then focused on Samira. It walked towards her, its steps light and graceful. Samira's machine beeped. She looked at the message and took a deep breath. It's asking for the one who sent the first message, she told the president. That's me. The president nodded. Go ahead, Samira. We're right behind you. Samira stepped forward. The alien stopped in front of her and raised its hand in greeting. Samira raised her hand too, copying the gesture. Welcome to Earth, she said, her voice shaking a little. The alien's large eyes blinked. Then, to everyone's surprise, it spoke. Its voice was soft and musical. Thank you, Samira Khan, it said in perfect English. We have been waiting a long time for this moment. Samira's eyes went wide. You can speak our language. The alien made a sound like gentle laughter. We have been studying your world for many years. We know many things about you. Samira had so many questions, but before she could ask, the alien continued. We are the Galactic Council, it said. We are here to invite Earth to join us among the stars. Samira couldn't believe what she was hearing. It was everything she had dreamed of and more. The alien held out its hand. In it was a small, glowing orb. This is our gift to Earth, it said. A key to the universe. Samira looked back at the president, who nodded. She reached out and took the orb. It felt warm in her hand. As she held it, Samira knew that everything was about to change. The adventure she had started by watching the stars was only beginning. The blinking lights in the sky had been just the start. Now, the whole universe was opening up to Earth, and Samira Khan, once called Silly Samira, would be leading the way. Surprise visitors. The world had changed overnight. Aliens were real, and they were on Earth. Samira Khan, once laughed at for her ideas, was now the most famous scientist on the planet. But fame wasn't easy. Samira barely slept. She spent her days in meetings and her nights studying the glowing orb the aliens had given her. The orb was amazing. It showed her stars and planets she had never seen before. 1 week after the aliens landed, Samira finally got a day off. She decided to visit her grandpa. He was still in the hospital, but he was doing better. There's my star girl, Grandpa said when Samira walked in. His room was full of flowers and cards from well-wishers. Samira hugged him tight. I've missed you, Grandpa, she said. So much has happened. Grandpa chuckled. I know. I saw you on TV. My granddaughter, talking to aliens. Who would have thought? They talked for hours. Samira told him everything. The light show in the sky, the landing, the alien who spoke perfect English. Grandpa listened with wide eyes. "I always knew you were special," he said. "But this is beyond my wildest dreams." As they talked, Samira's phone buzzed. It was a message from Dr. Lee. "Come to the university right away. It's urgent." Samira said goodbye to Grandpa and rushed to her car. As she drove, she wondered what could be so urgent. Had something happened to the alien ship or the orb? When she got to the university, she saw something strange. The parking lot was empty. There were no students, no teachers, no one. Samira parked and walked to her lab. The halls were quiet, too quiet. She started to feel scared. She opened the door to her lab and gasped. Inside were 3 aliens. They looked just like the first one, with blue skin and big dark eyes. Dr. Lee was there too, looking nervous. "Ah, Samira," he said. "Good, you're here. We have guests." The aliens turned to look at Samira. One of them stepped forward. "Samira Khan," it said in that musical voice. "We need your help." Samira's heart raced. "My help? With what?" The alien held out its hand. In it was another orb, just like the one Samira had. But this one was dark and lifeless. "Our ship's power source is failing," the alien said. "We cannot leave Earth without it." Samira looked at the dead orb. "But what can I do?" The alien's big eyes blinked slowly. "You have been studying our gift, yes? You understand it better than anyone on your world." Samira thought about the long nights she spent with her orb. She had learned so much, but there was still so much she didn't understand. "I've been trying," she said, "but your technology is so advanced. I'm not sure I can help." The second alien spoke up. Its voice was deeper. "We believe in you, Samira Khan. You saw us when no one else would look. Now, we need you to see a way to help us." Samira took a deep breath. She was scared, but also excited. This was her chance to learn even more about the aliens and their amazing technology. "Okay," she said. "I'll try, but I'll need help." Dr. Lee stepped forward. "You'll have all the help you need, Samira. The whole university is at your disposal." The third alien, who had been quiet until now, spoke. Its voice was soft, almost a whisper. "We must warn you. If we cannot leave, more of our kind will come. They may not be as friendly as we are." Samira felt a chill run down her spine. She looked at Dr. Lee, who had gone pale. "How long do we have?" Samira asked. The first alien answered, 3 of your Earth days. After that, our presence here will be noticed." Samira nodded. "Then we better get to work." For the next 3 days, Samira barely left her lab. She worked with the aliens, learning more about their technology. She brought in other scientists to help, but she was always the one in charge. They ran test after test. They tried linking the dead orb to Earth's power grid, but it didn't work. They tried using solar power, wind power, even nuclear power. Nothing worked. As the end of the 3rd day approached, Samira was losing hope. She sat in her lab, staring at the 2 orbs, one glowing, one dark. Suddenly, she had an idea. It was crazy, but at this point, she was willing to try anything. "What if," she said slowly, "we use my orb to jumpstart yours?" The aliens looked at each other. The first one spoke. "It could work, but it's dangerous. If it fails, both orbs could be destroyed." Samira knew the risk. If she lost her orb, she'd lose her connection to the stars. But if she did nothing, Earth could be in danger. "We have to try," she said. They set up the experiment. Samira's glowing orb was connected to the dead one with wires she had designed. Everyone stood back. Samira took a deep breath and pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, her orb started to pulse. The light grew brighter and brighter. Samira had to shield her eyes. There was a flash of light and a loud pop. When Samira looked again, she gasped. Both orbs were glowing. The aliens made a strange trilling sound. Samira realized they were cheering. "You did it, Samira Khan," the first alien said. "You have saved us and your world." Samira felt dizzy with relief and excitement. She had done it. She had helped the aliens. As the aliens prepared to leave, the first one turned to Samira. "You have proven that humans are ready to join the Galactic Council," it said. "We will return soon to make it official." Samira watched as the aliens boarded their ship. The big silver disk rose into the air, blinking with colorful lights. Then, in a flash, it was gone. Dr. Lee put his hand on Samira's shoulder. "You've changed the world, Samira," he said. "Again." Samira smiled. She looked down at the two glowing orbs in her hands. One was the key to the universe. The other was proof that humans could solve even the biggest problems. As she watched the stars come out, Samira knew that this was just the beginning. The surprise visitors had brought more than just excitement. They had brought a whole new future for Earth. And Samira Khan, the girl who once watched the stars alone, would be leading the way into that future. Space government comes to town. 2 months had passed since Samira Khan helped the aliens fix their ship. Life had almost returned to normal, but not quite. People still looked at the sky more often. They wondered when the aliens would return. Samira kept busy. She studied the two glowing orbs and shared what she learned with scientists around the world. But deep down, she was waiting too. Waiting for the aliens to come back. One ordinary Tuesday, it happened. Samira was in her lab when her phone buzzed. It was a text from Dr. Lee. "Turn on the TV. Now." Samira grabbed the remote and turned on the small TV in her lab. Her jaw dropped. There, hovering over New York City, was a massive spaceship. It was like nothing anyone had ever seen. It wasn't a flying saucer or a ball. It looked like a floating city, with spires and domes glittering in the sunlight. The news reporter sounded excited and scared at the same time. "Ladies and gentlemen, it appears the aliens have returned. And this time, they'd brought a much bigger ship." Samira's phone rang. It was the president's office. "Miss Khan, we need you in Washington. Now." Before Samira could even pack a bag, she heard a strange whooshing sound outside her lab. She looked out the window and gasped. A small, sleek spaceship had landed on the university lawn. The door of the ship opened, and out stepped the alien Samira had first met. It smiled at her. At least, she thought it was a smile. "Samira Khan," it said. "The Galactic Council requests your presence. Will you come with us?" Samira didn't hesitate. "Yes," she said. "Let me just tell the president." The alien nodded. "We have already informed your leaders. They will meet us at the council ship." The ride in the small spaceship was amazing. Samira watched as they zoomed across the country, going so fast that cities below looked like blurs. In just minutes, they arrived in New York. As they flew towards the massive council ship, Samira saw other small ships joining them. She recognized world leaders from TV. The president, the British Prime Minister, the Chinese president, and many others. They all landed in a huge hangar inside the council ship. Samira stepped out, her legs shaky. The world leaders looked just as nervous as she felt. A group of aliens approached. They were different colors. Blue, green, purple, and colors Samira couldn't even name. One alien, tall and silver-skinned, stepped forward. "Welcome, people of Earth," it said in a deep, rumbling voice. "I am High Counselor Zax. We are the Galactic Council, and we are here to evaluate your world." The president stepped forward. "Evaluate? For what purpose?" Zax's big eyes blinked slowly. "To determine if Earth is ready to join the galactic community, of course." Samira felt a mix of excitement and fear. This was huge. The future of Earth depended on this evaluation. Zax continued. "We will need to see your world, to understand your people. Samira Khan, As the one who first contacted us, will you be our guide? All eyes turned to Samira. She took a deep breath and nodded. I would be honored, she said. Over the next week, Samira led the aliens on a tour of Earth. They visited big cities and small villages. They saw forests and deserts, oceans and mountains. Everywhere they went, people came out to see the aliens. But it wasn't all sightseeing. The aliens asked hard questions. They wanted to know about Earth's wars, its pollution, its poverty. Samira tried to explain that humans were still learning, still growing. We have problems, she told Zax, but we're working to solve them. Humans never give up. Zax nodded, but Samira couldn't tell what the alien was thinking. On the last day of the tour, they'd visited Samira's hometown. As they walked down the main street, Samira saw a familiar face. It was her grandpa, out of the hospital, and looking much better. Grandpa, Samira called out, waving. Her grandpa came over, his eyes wide as he looked at the aliens. So these are your new friends, eh? He said with a grin. Samira introduced her grandpa to Zax. To her surprise, Zax seemed very interested in the old man. You are Samira Khan's ancestor? Zax asked. Grandpa nodded. That's right. Taught her everything she knows about the stars. Zax turned to Samira. This man gave you the device that allowed you to contact us. Samira nodded. Yes, he found it years ago. We never knew where it came from. Zax made a sound that might have been a laugh. It came from us, of course. We left it here long ago, hoping someone would find it and use it. Your grandfather did. And then you did. You passed the first test without even knowing it. Samira and her grandpa looked at each other in shock. The strange machine had been from the aliens all along. That evening, Zax called all the world leaders together on the council ship. Samira stood with them, her heart pounding. People of Earth, Zax said, we have made our decision. The room was so quiet, Samira could hear her own breathing. Earth has many problems, Zax continued. You fight among yourselves. You damage your planet. You have much to learn. Samira's heart sank. It sounded like Earth had failed the test. But then Zax smiled, or at least Samira thought it was a smile. However, the alien said, you also have great potential. You are curious, creative, and as Samira Khan said, you never give up. These are qualities we value in the Galactic Council. Zax paused, looking at each person in the room. Therefore, we have decided to offer Earth probationary membership in the Galactic Council. The room erupted in cheers. World leaders hugged each other. Some even cried. Samira felt like her heart might burst with joy. Zax raised a hand for quiet. This is only the beginning, the alien said. You have much work to do, but now you will not do it alone. We will help you. Together, we will solve Earth's problems and prepare your people to join us among the stars. As Samira looked out the window of the council ship, she saw the Earth floating in space. It looked small and fragile, but also beautiful and full of life. She thought about how far they had come. From a girl with a crazy idea, laughed at by everyone, to this moment, Earth was joining a galaxy-wide government. The whole universe was opening up. Samira knew there would be challenges ahead, but as she watched the stars twinkle around her home planet, she felt ready for anything. The space government had come to town, and nothing would ever be the same again. Humans show their stuff. Earth was buzzing with excitement. The Galactic Council had given humans a chance to prove themselves. Now it was time to show the aliens what Earth could do. Samira Khan was busier than ever. As Earth's main contact with the aliens, she had to help organize a big show. This show would teach the aliens about the best things humans had made and done. It's like a science fair, Samira told her grandpa over lunch. But for the whole planet. Grandpa chuckled. I remember your first science fair project. A model of the solar system made of fruit. Samira laughed. Well, this will be a bit bigger than that. The Galactic Council sent a message. They would send judges to Earth in 1 month. These judges would look at human art, science, music, and more. Samira worked with leaders from all over the world. They had to pick the best things to show the aliens. It wasn't easy. Everyone wanted their country's stuff to be shown. "We can't show everything," Samira said in a big meeting. "We need to pick things that show how special humans are." After many long talks, they made a plan. The show would have 5 parts: art, music, science, human kindness, and Earth's nature. As the day got closer, Samira felt nervous. What if the aliens didn't like what they saw? What if Earth lost its chance to join the Galactic Council? The night before the show, Samira couldn't sleep. She went to her lab and looked at the 2 glowing orbs the aliens had given her. Suddenly, she had an idea. The next morning, alien ships appeared in the sky. They landed in a big field where the show was set up. Samira and other world leaders were there to meet them. High Counselor Zack stepped out first. "Greetings, people of Earth," the tall alien said. "We are eager to see what you have prepared." Samira took a deep breath. "Welcome, High Counselor. We're excited to show you the best of what Earth has to offer." The tour began. First stop was the art section. Paintings from all over the world hung on walls. Sculptures stood on tables. There was even a giant ice sculpture of the Galactic Council ship. Zax looked closely at everything. "Interesting," the alien said. "You create images of things that do not exist. Why?" A famous artist stepped forward. "Art helps us see the world in new ways," she said. "It shows our dreams and feelings." Zax nodded slowly. "Fascinating. This could be useful for problem solving." Next was the music section. A big orchestra was set up. They played songs from different countries. Some were happy and made you want to dance. Others were soft and made you feel calm. One of the alien judges swayed to the music. "This is pleasant," it said. "It creates feelings without words." Samira smiled. The aliens were starting to understand. The science section was next. Scientists from all over the world showed their best work. There were robots, new medicines, and even a small fusion reactor. "Impressive," Zack said. "You've done much with limited resources." Samira felt proud. Humans might not have alien technology, but they were clever and worked hard. The human kindness section was Samira's favorite. It showed videos of people helping each other. There were doctors working in poor countries, people saving animals, and kids raising money for good causes. "This is unexpected," one alien judge said. "You help others even when it doesn't benefit you." "That's what makes us human," Samira said. "We care about each other." The last stop was Earth's nature. This section had plants and animals from all over the world. There were colorful birds, strange deep-sea creatures, and even a baby elephant. The aliens were amazed. "Such diversity," Zax exclaimed. "Your planet is truly special." Samira felt good. The aliens seemed to like what they saw, but she had one more thing to show them. "High Counselor," she said, "we have one last demonstration, if you'll allow it." Zax looked curious. "Proceed," the alien said. Samira brought out the 2 glowing orbs. "You gave us these as a gift," she said. "We've been studying them, and we think we found a new way to use them." She put the orbs on a table. Then she brought out a small machine she had made. It had lights and dials, and wires connecting to the orbs. "This machine," Samira explained, "can use the energy from the orbs to create holograms, but not just any holograms. These can show our thoughts and feelings." The aliens leaned in close, very interested. Samira turned on the machine. The orbs glowed brighter. Suddenly, the air above them filled with light. Images appeared, Earth seen from space, people from all over the world smiling and laughing, beautiful landscapes, and great human achievements. But it wasn't just images. Somehow, everyone could feel the emotions behind them: hope, love, pride, and a deep desire to learn and grow. When it was over, the field was quiet. Then Zax spoke. In all our travels, the alien said, "We have never seen anything quite like this. You've taken our technology and used it in a way we never imagined." Samira held her breath. Was that good or bad? Zax turned to the other aliens. They talked in their own language for a few minutes. Then Zax faced the humans again. "People of Earth," the alien said, "you have shown us many wonderful things today. Your art shows your imagination. Your music touches emotions we didn't know we had. Your science proves you can do much with little. Your kindness shows a spirit we admire. And your planet's beauty is breathtaking." Zax paused, looking at each person. "But most impressive is your ability to surprise us, to take what you're given and make something new. This is rare and valuable." Samira's heart was beating fast. What did this mean? "We came to evaluate you," Zax continued. "But we find ourselves learning from you. Therefore, we have decided to upgrade Earth's status. You are now full members of the Galactic Council." The field erupted in cheers. People hugged each other, laughing and crying. Samira felt like she might float away with happiness. As the celebration continued, Samira looked up at the sky. The stars seemed brighter somehow. She thought about how far they had come, from being alone in the universe to joining a galactic community. Humans had shown their stuff, and it turned out their stuff was pretty amazing. Now, a whole new adventure was beginning. Samira couldn't wait to see what would happen next. The big test. Earth had been part of the Galactic Council for 6 months now. Things were changing fast. Alien technology was helping solve big problems like hunger and disease. People were learning about life on other planets. It was an exciting time. But Samira Khan knew it wasn't all easy. Being part of the Galactic Council meant Earth had to follow new rules. And sometimes, the Council asked Earth to do hard things. One morning, Samira got an urgent message from High Counselor Zax. "Come to the Council ship immediately," it said. "Earth faces its first big test." Samira's heart raced as she took a small ship up to the big Council ship that still floated above New York. When she arrived, she found world leaders already there, looking worried. Zax stood at the front of the room, tall and serious. "Thank you for coming quickly," the alien said. "We have a situation that requires Earth's help." Zax touched a button, and a big screen appeared in the air. It showed a strange planet with 3 suns. "This is Treluna," Zax explained. "It's home to a peaceful race called the Lumini. They're in danger." The screen changed to show weird, glowing creatures that looked like floating jellyfish. They were beautiful, but they didn't look happy. "The Lumini live in the light of their 3 suns," Zax continued. "But one sun is dying. If it goes out, the Lumini will die too." Samira felt sad for the Lumini, but she was confused. "How can we help?" she asked. "We don't know how to fix a sun." Zax nodded. "True. But you humans have a unique ability to solve problems in creative ways. The Council believes you might see a solution we have missed." The president stepped forward. "We'll do our best," he said. "But what exactly do you want us to do?" Zax's big eyes blinked slowly. "We want you to save the Lumini," the alien said. "You have 1 Earth month. If you succeed, you'll prove that humans truly belong in the Galactic Council." Samira gasped. This was huge. The whole galaxy would be watching to see what humans could do. "And if we fail?" Samira asked quietly. Zax looked sad. "Then perhaps we were wrong about Earth's readiness for the Council." The room was quiet. Everyone knew how important this was. Finally, Samira spoke up. "We'll do it," she said. "We'll find a way to save the Lumini." Over the next few days, Samira worked with scientists from all over the world. They studied everything they could about Treluna and the Lumini. They had big meetings and long talks about how to solve the problem. Some people thought they should try to fix the dying sun. Others wanted to move the Lumini to a new planet, but nothing seemed right. After a week, Samira was feeling frustrated. She decided to visit her grandpa to clear her head. "It's too big, Grandpa," she said, sitting in his garden. "How can we save a whole race of aliens?" Grandpa smiled and handed her a flashlight. "When I was a boy," he said, "we had big storms that would knock out the power. We used flashlights to make shadow puppets on the wall. It made the dark less scary." Samira looked at the flashlight. Suddenly, she had an idea. She rushed back to the lab and called all the scientists together. "I think I know how we can help the Lumini," she said excitedly. Samira explained her idea. They couldn't fix the sun or move the Lumini. But what if they could make a fake sun? The scientists got excited. They started drawing plans and making calculations. For the next 2 weeks, they worked day and night. Finally, they had a plan. They would build huge satellites that could reflect light from the 2 healthy suns onto the planet. It would be like having a third sun, even after the real one died. But there was a problem. Earth didn't have the technology to build such big satellites. They needed help. Samira went to Zax with their plan. "We know how to save the Lumini," she said, "but we need the Council's help to build it." Zax listened carefully to the plan. When Samira finished, the alien was quiet for a long moment. "In all our years," Zax said finally, "we never thought of this solution. It's simple, yet brilliant." The alien smiled. "You have passed the test, Samira Khan. Not just with your solution, but by knowing when to ask for help." The next 2 weeks were busy. Ships from all over the galaxy came to help build the giant light-reflecting satellites. Samira worked with aliens of all shapes and sizes. It was hard work, but also fun. Finally, the day came to test their creation. Everyone gathered on the council ship to watch. On the big screen, they could see Treluna. Its third sun was almost gone, just a dim red ball. The Lumini were huddled together, looking scared. "Activate the satellites," Zax ordered. Samira held her breath as she pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, a new light began to shine on Treluna. It grew brighter and brighter. Soon, it was as bright as a real sun. On the screen, they could see the Lumini start to glow and dance with joy. The room erupted in cheers. Aliens and humans hugged each other. Some were crying happy tears. Samira felt like her heart might burst with happiness. Zax turned to face everyone. "People of Earth," the alien said, "you have done more than save the Lumini. You have shown the galaxy the true value of humanity. Your creativity, your determination, and your compassion make you a vital part of our galactic community." Samira looked around the room. Humans and aliens, all working together. They had faced a big test and passed. Earth wasn't just part of the Galactic Council now. They were an important part. As she watched the Lumini dance in the light of their new artificial sun, Samira knew this was just the beginning. There would be more challenges, more tests. But now she knew that humans could handle anything. With the whole galaxy as their new home, the future was brighter than ever. Earth's secret superpower. After saving the Lumini, Earth became famous across the galaxy. Aliens from far-off worlds wanted to visit and learn about humans. It was an exciting time, but also a bit scary. Samira Khan was busier than ever. As Earth's top space expert, she had to meet many alien visitors. Some looked like giant plants. Others were made of gas. Each one was stranger than the last. One day, Samira got a call from High Counselor Zax. "We need you on planet Crystalia," the alien said. "It's urgent." Samira had never been to another planet before. She felt nervous but excited as she boarded a fast spaceship. In just a few hours, she arrived on Crystalia. The planet was beautiful. Everything sparkled like diamonds. The buildings, the ground, even the plants were made of crystal. Samira gasped as she stepped off the ship. Zax was waiting for her. "Thank you for coming so quickly," the alien said. "We have a problem only humans might be able to solve." Zax led Samira to a big crystal building. Inside, alien scientists were working on something. In the middle of the room was a strange, swirling ball of energy. "This is the heart of Crystalia," Zax explained. "It powers our whole planet, but it's becoming unstable. We can't fix it, and we don't know why." Samira looked at the energy ball. It pulsed with different colors, sometimes bright, sometimes dim. "What do you think humans can do?" she asked. Zax's big eyes blinked. "We're not sure, but humans have surprised us before. We hope you'll see something we've missed." Samira nodded. She started asking questions and looking at the aliens' data. But after hours of work, she was stuck. Nothing made sense. Feeling frustrated, Samira decided to take a walk outside. The crystal world was so strange and beautiful. As she walked, she saw her reflection in a shiny crystal wall. Suddenly, Samira had a weird feeling. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. When she opened them again, something amazing happened. She could see inside the crystals. It was like she had X-ray vision. Samira gasped and blinked hard, but the vision didn't go away. Excited, she ran back to the building with the heart of Crystalia. She looked at the energy ball with her new vision. What she saw shocked her. "Zax," she called out, "I can see inside the heart. There's something in there that doesn't belong." The aliens crowded around her, amazed. "What do you mean, you can see inside?" Zax asked. "How is that possible?" Samira tried to explain her new ability, but she didn't understand it herself. "I don't know how, but I can see through things now. And there's a small object in the middle of the heart. It's blocking the energy flow." The alien scientists were confused. They had no way to see what Samira was seeing, but Zax trusted her. "Can you guide us to remove this object?" the alien asked. Samira nodded. For the next few hours, she directed the aliens as they carefully worked on the heart. It was tricky and sometimes scary. The energy pulsed and sparked around them. Finally, with Samira's guidance, they removed a tiny crystal shard from the heart. As soon as it was out, the energy ball stabilized. It glowed with a steady, bright light. The aliens cheered. Crystalia was saved. But everyone was puzzled about Samira's new ability. "How did you do that?" Zax asked. "We've never seen anything like it." Samira shook her head. "I don't know. It just happened." Over the next few days, more strange things occurred. Humans on Earth started reporting new abilities. Some could move things without touching them. Others could read minds. Some even said they could see the future. The Galactic Council was amazed. They ran tests and studied the humans carefully. Finally, they called a big meeting. Representatives from all over the galaxy attended. Zax stood up to speak. "We have discovered something extraordinary," the alien said. "Humans have a unique genetic structure. When exposed to different planetary environments, it unlocks special abilities." The room buzzed with excitement and worry. Some aliens thought this was wonderful. Others were scared of what it might mean. Zax continued, "This adaptability is not something we've seen in any other species. It seems to be Earth's secret superpower." Samira listened in amazement. She had no idea humans were so special. "But why didn't we know about this before?" she asked. An alien scientist answered, "Your abilities only activate in specific environments. Earth doesn't have the right conditions to trigger them. But as you travel to different planets, who knows what you might be able to do?" The implications were huge. Humans could potentially develop hundreds of different abilities. They could help solve problems across the galaxy in ways no one else could. But it also meant humans might become too powerful. Some aliens worried that humans would try to take over. The debate went on for hours. Finally, Zax called for quiet. "This discovery changes everything," the alien said. "Humans are not just members of the Galactic Council now. They are a vital resource for the entire galaxy." Zax turned to Samira. "We will need to establish new protocols. Humans must be trained to use their abilities responsibly. Will you help us with this, Samira Khan? Samira felt the weight of this responsibility, but she also felt excited about the possibilities. She stood up, tall, and nodded. Yes, she said. Humans will use this gift to help others, not to rule over them. We'll work with the council to make sure everyone benefits. The room erupted in applause. It was the start of a new era for humans and aliens alike. As Samira looked around at all the different aliens, she thought about how far they had come. From a girl watching the stars to helping lead humanity into a new age of superpowers and space exploration. Earth's secret superpower wasn't just the abilities they were discovering. It was their adaptability, their creativity, and their willingness to help others. With these powers, humans were ready to take on any challenge the galaxy might bring. Samira smiled as she imagined the adventures ahead. The universe had just gotten a whole lot bigger and more exciting, and humans were ready to explore every bit of it, discovering new powers and helping others along the way. It wasn't just a new chapter for Earth, it was a new chapter for the entire galaxy, and Samira couldn't wait to see what would happen next. Playing the space game. 6 months had passed since humans discovered their special abilities. The galaxy was still buzzing with excitement and worry. Everyone wanted to know what humans could do on their planet. Samira Khan had a new job now. She was Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council. It was a big job with lots of responsibility. Samira had to make sure humans used their new powers wisely and fairly. One morning, Samira got an urgent message. The Galactic Council was having an emergency meeting. She quickly got ready and took a fast ship to the Council's space station. When she arrived, the big meeting room was full of aliens. Some looked angry. Others looked scared. Samira took her seat, feeling nervous. High Counselor Zax stood up. "We have a serious problem," the alien said. "The Zorblaxians are threatening to leave the Galactic Council." Samira gasped. The Zorblaxians were one of the oldest and most powerful races in the galaxy. If they left the council, it could cause big trouble for everyone. "Why do they want to leave?" Samira asked. Zax's big eyes blinked sadly. "They're afraid of humans. They think you'll become too powerful and take over the galaxy." Samira felt her heart sink. This was exactly what she had been working to prevent. "What can we do?" she asked. An alien with tentacles for arms spoke up. "We should limit human activities. Keep them on Earth where they can't cause trouble." Other aliens nodded in agreement. Samira knew she had to act fast. "Wait," she said, standing up. "That's not fair. Humans have been helping the galaxy. We saved the Lumini, remember? And we fixed the heart of Crystalia." The room got quiet. Aliens looked at each other, thinking about what Samira said. "Humans don't want to rule the galaxy," Samira continued. "We want to be part of it, to help and learn from everyone. But we can't do that if you keep us trapped on Earth." Zax nodded slowly. "Samira is right. But we still need to address the Zorblaxians' concerns." Samira thought hard. She remembered something her grandpa once told her. In a tough game, sometimes you need to change the rules. Suddenly, she had an idea. "What if we make a new rule?" she said. "Humans can only use their special abilities when the Galactic Council asks for help. That way, we're not a threat, but we can still help when needed." The room buzzed with talk. Aliens discussed Samira's idea. Some liked it. Others weren't sure. Finally, Zax spoke. "It's a good start, Samira. But the Zorblaxians will need more than just words. They'll want proof that humans can be trusted." Samira nodded. She knew Zax was right. "Then let me go talk to them," she said. "I'll show them the humans want to be friends, not rulers." Some aliens gasped. The Zorblaxians were known to be unfriendly to visitors. It could be dangerous. But Zax saw the determination in Samira's eyes. "Very well," the alien said. "You may go to Zorblax. But be careful. Their gravity is very strong. You might develop new abilities there, which could scare them." Samira agreed. She prepared for her trip. studying everything she could about Zorblaxian culture. She even practiced walking with heavy weights to get ready for the strong gravity. When she arrived on Zorblax, Samira felt like she weighed 1,000 pounds. It was hard to even stand up. But as she struggled, something strange happened. Her body started to change. Her bones got denser, her muscles stronger. Soon, she could move easily in the heavy gravity. The Zorblaxians watched her with their many eyes. They looked surprised and a little scared. "Greetings," Samira said, bowing in the Zorblaxian way. "I come in peace and friendship." The Zorblaxian leader, a huge creature with shimmering scales, spoke in a deep voice. "Why have you come here, human? To show off your powers?" Samira shook her head. "No, I came to listen. To understand why you're afraid of us. And to show you that humans want to be your friends, not your rulers." The Zorblaxians looked at each other, surprised. They were used to other races trying to impress them or scare them. But this human wanted to listen. For the next few days, Samira met with Zorblaxians from all parts of their society. She listened to their fears and concerns. She told them about Earth and its history. She even taught them some human games, which they enjoyed. Slowly, the Zorblaxians began to relax around her. They saw that even though Samira had new abilities on their planet, she didn't use them to show off or cause trouble. On her last day, the Zorblaxian leader invited Samira to a special meeting. "We have been watching you, Samira Khan," the leader said. "You are not what we expected." Samira smiled. "Humans are full of surprises, but I hope you've seen that our biggest desire is to learn and make friends." The leader nodded. "We have decided not to leave the Galactic Council, but we have a condition." Samira held her breath, waiting. "We want you, Samira Khan, to be the official link between humans and Zorblaxians. You understand our ways now. We trust you to make sure humans use their powers wisely." Samira felt overwhelmed. It was a big responsibility, but it was also a chance to make a real difference in the galaxy. "I would be honored," she said, bowing deeply. When Samira returned to the Galactic Council, everyone was amazed. Not only had she convinced the Zorblaxians to stay, but she had also made a powerful new ally for humans. Zax congratulated her. "You've played the space game well, Samira. You used wisdom and friendship instead of power. That's a lesson many races could learn from." Samira realized that this was Earth's true superpower, not the abilities they got on other planets, but their ability to adapt, to listen, and to make friends. As she looked around the council chamber, Samira saw aliens of all shapes and sizes. Some had been enemies just days ago. Now, they were talking and laughing together. She thought about how far humans had come. From a small planet, alone in the universe, to a key player in galactic politics. It hadn't been easy, and there would be more challenges ahead. But Samira knew that as long as humans remembered to listen, to learn, and to offer friendship, they would always have a place among the stars. The space game was complex, with rules that always seemed to change. But humans were learning to play it well. And with each new challenge, they were making the galaxy a little bit better for everyone. Earth joins the galaxy. 5 years had passed since humans first met aliens. In that time, Earth had changed more than in the last 100 years. Samira Khan had been at the center of it all, guiding humanity's steps into the stars. Now, a big day was coming. Earth was about to become a full member of the Galactic Federation. It was like Earth was graduating from space school. Samira stood in front of her mirror, adjusting her new uniform. It was blue and silver, with a patch showing Earth among the stars. She felt proud but also nervous. This day would change everything. A soft beep came from her wrist computer. It was a message from her grandpa. "You've come a long way, Star Girl. The whole family is watching. Make us proud." Samira smiled. Her grandpa still called her Star Girl, even though she was now one of the most important people in the galaxy. She stepped outside her apartment in the big space station that orbited Earth. The station was full of excited humans and curious aliens. Everyone was heading to the Great Hall for the ceremony. As Samira walked, she saw how much had changed. Humans worked side by side with aliens from 100 worlds. There were shops selling foods from across the galaxy. Signs were in many languages, including the new galaxy standard that everyone was learning. In the Great Hall, thousands of beings were gathered. Some floated, some crawled, some just blinked in and out of existence. But all were here to see Earth join their community. High Counselor Zax stood at the front. The tall alien smiled, or at least Samira thought it was a smile, as she approached. "Are you ready, Samira Khan?" Zax asked. Samira took a deep breath and nodded. "Ready as I'll ever be." Zax touched a crystal, and the room went quiet. The ceremony was beginning. "Friends, allies, sentient beings of all kinds," Zax said, voice booming. "We are here to welcome a new member to our galactic family. Earth has proven itself time and again, showing courage, creativity, and compassion." Zax went on to talk about Earth's achievements, how humans helped save the Lumini, fixed the heart of Crystalia, and made peace with the Zorblaxians. With each story, Samira felt a surge of pride. "And now," Zax continued, "Earth will take its place as a full member of the Galactic Federation. Samira Khan, please step forward." Samira walked to the center of the stage. Her heart was beating fast, but she stood tall. Zax held out a small glowing orb. "This is the Seed of Worlds," the alien explained. "It contains the collected knowledge of the Federation. By accepting it, Earth agrees to share in our knowledge, our resources, and our responsibilities." Samira reached out and took the orb. It felt warm in her hands, almost alive. As she held it, images flashed in her mind. Strange worlds, amazing technologies, and the vastness of the galaxy. On behalf of Earth, Samira said, her voice strong and clear, "I accept this honor and this duty. We pledge to use our unique abilities to help all beings in the Federation. We will explore, learn, and grow together with our new galactic family." The hall erupted in cheers and strange alien sounds that Samira guessed were also cheers. Lights flashed, and music played. Earth was now part of something much bigger than itself. As the celebration continued, Samira felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to see a small green alien with big eyes. "Excuse me," the alien said shyly. "I'm from a planet called Verdina. We heard that humans can develop special abilities on different worlds. Could you visit us sometime? We have a problem with our forests dying, and we thought maybe humans might be able to help." Samira smiled warmly. "Of course. I'll make sure to send a team to your world soon. This is exactly why we joined the Federation, to help each other." More aliens came up to Samira, each with questions or requests. Some wanted to visit Earth, others wanted to trade. A few even asked about human music and art, which had become popular across the galaxy. As she talked with everyone, Samira realized something important. Earth wasn't just joining the galaxy. The galaxy was joining Earth too. Every new connection, every shared idea, every problem solved together was bringing the universe closer. Later that night, after the ceremony was over, Samira stood by a big window looking out at the stars. She thought about her journey. From a girl with a crazy idea about aliens to the person who helped bring Earth into a whole new age. She felt a presence beside her and turned to see Zax. "Quite a view, isn't it?" the alien said. Samira nodded. "It's beautiful. And now it's our home. All of it." Zax made a sound that might have been a chuckle. "You know, when we first discovered Earth, some thought your people were too young, too reckless to join us. But you've proven them wrong at every turn." "We've made mistakes," Samira admitted. "But we're learning." "That's why you fit in so well," Zax said. "The Federation isn't perfect. We're all learning, all growing. And now we'll do it together." Samira smiled. "So what's next?" What's out there, beyond the Federation? Zax's big eyes twinkled. Ah, that's the exciting part. There's always more to explore, more to discover. The universe is vast, and full of wonders we haven't even imagined yet. As if to prove Zax's point, a flash of light caught Samira's eye. A ship was coming out of hyperspace, its design unlike anything she'd seen before. New visitors, Zax said, from beyond the Federation's borders. It seems your first day as full members will be an interesting one. Samira felt a thrill of excitement. This was why she had looked up at the stars all those years ago. Not just to see them, but to explore them, to meet new beings, to face new challenges. Earth had joined the galaxy, but the adventure was just beginning. There would be new friends to make, new worlds to see, new problems to solve. And humans, with their unique abilities and endless curiosity, would be at the forefront of it all. As Samira watched the strange new ship approach, she knew that the future was bright. Not just for Earth, but for the whole galaxy. Together, they would reach for the stars and beyond, united in their quest for knowledge, peace, and understanding. The girl who once watched the stars had become a woman who walked among them, and now she would help lead humanity into a future brighter than she had ever dreamed.